Hi, thank you for watching the video. So I've created this 20 to 30 minute yoga sequence as a sort of moving meditation to de-stress and refresh, because I've been feeling very anxious, a bit down, I can't focus on anything, and my personal practice I haven't been able to keep up with. So I've created a nice low to the ground sequence to help us focus and ground our energy so that maybe we can feel a bit better about being stuck inside. So to begin with, if you're going to join in, I recommend you have a little blanket or a cushion. Also so this is just the belt from my dressing gown and a textbook handy. Just going to show you a few adjustments for some stretches if you feel like you can't get into them properly, or if you're a bit if you're not very confident, if you don't feel like you're not sure if you've hit the pose the way you should be, if you don't know if you're feeling the stretch in the right place. So just little things like this to modify and adjust for your benefit so that you can feel the proper benefits of the pose. So to begin with, we're going to start lying down. So coming onto your back, stretch the legs out and send the arms up above your head, coming into a full body stretch. So take a nice big stretch before walking the feet to the bottom right hand corner of the mat, and then using the right hand, pull the left hand over to the right. So now you should be in a banana shape or a crescent shape. So this is a stretch you should be feeling in the left shoulder and all down the left side of the body. If you want to take it slightly further, you can cross that left ankle on top of the right. And take a moment here just to breathe. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and let it all out through the mouth. And slowly release, coming back to center. And we'll take it to the other side, walking the feet to the bottom left corner. And then again, using the left hand to pull the right hand over to the left this time. So you should be in a crescent shape on the other side. And again, if you want to take it further, cross the right ankle on top of the left. And breathe into that stretch, really feel it. Try to bring the shoulders away from the ears. And slowly release, coming back to center. And bringing the knees up towards the chest. Take a gentle rock from side to side, wrapping the arms around your shins. And then slowly make your way up into a seated position. So, coming into a cross-legged position. So this is called Sukhasana or easy pose. So from here, all I want you to do is lengthen through the spine and sit up nice and tall. Let the hands sit wherever's comfortable for you. And so if this isn't a comfortable position for you, if you're not sure if you've got a nice straight spinal posture, this is where we bring the blanket, just fold it up or roll it up and just place your sit bones on top of the blanket. So what this does is it tilts the pelvis slightly, which will help you to straighten the spine. So coming back at that cross-legged position, with or without the blanket, you know how you feel. So let the hands sit wherever's comfortable and gently close your eyes. We're just going to start to really arrive on the mat. drawing the attention inwards, noticing how you're feeling in this moment. More slowly start to deepen the breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Expanding on the inhales and drawing the navel in on the exhales. Lengthen through the spine, creating space between each vertebrae, and just lean back slightly so that you are up on top of your sit bones. Lift the chin a little bit. So we are head over heart, heart over pelvis in a nice straight line, lengthening, sitting up nice and tall. Letting go of all that fidgety energy, finding some stillness. Continuing those nice slow deep breaths. Just drawing the navel in on those exhales. And slowly open the eyes. And we're going to bring the palms together at the heart. So this is called an Anjali Mudra. So pressing the hands together, actively engaging the arms. And then we're going to slowly bring the chin down to the chest. So we're getting a nice stretch in the back of the neck. We're lengthening through the back of the neck. And we're going to breathe. Still keeping those arms active, pushing the hands against each other, lifting the sternum towards the thumbs rather than pushing the thumbs towards the chest. And slowly bring the hands down, slowly bring the head up. Now then, from here, so we're going to come into Siddhasana. So what that is, basically all it is you bring in bring the left foot in and the right foot just in front of the left. So it's almost sitting with crossed legs. So you just bringing the feet out a little bit. One foot in front of the other. So we've got the left foot closest to you and the right foot in front of the left. And from here, we're just going to inhale to lengthen, exhale. All I want you to do is see if you can bring the hands out in front of you and just gently hinge forwards. Don't try not to round through the spine. I'll just turn sideways so you can see. So try not to sit back and round. Just try to lean forwards, leading with the chest. And bring the hands out and maybe lower the elbows down. And hold that there. So this is a nice little gentle hip stretch. Still sitting up on your blanket if you feel like you need to. If you feel like you don't want it, then move it aside. So inhale to lengthen through the spine, and on an exhale, we hinge a bit further forwards. Try and keep the sit bones on the mat, try not to lift. And then slowly walking the hands back up. And then from here, we're going to switch to the other side. So bringing the right foot in and the left foot in front of the right this time. And again, do the same thing. Instead of, don't sit back and round, inhale to lengthen and exhale to lead from the chest. Hinging forwards, walking the hands out in front. Still keeping up with those nice slow deep breaths. And then slowly coming back up to center. Okay. Now then from here we're going to come into a head to knee pose. So this is where the dressing gown belt, or if you do have a yoga strap, you can use one of those. Comes in handy. So extending the left leg out, keep the right foot in. So engage that leg, flex that foot, and keep that leg engaged, toes pointing towards you. And just turn the hips so that you're facing that leg. Now you don't need to use the belt, but again, it'll help you to keep a straight spine. So I'll just turn completely sideways again. So inhale into lengthen. So bring that strap around the ball of the foot. And so inhale to lengthen, exhale, pull yourself forwards. So we're hinging forwards. So already I haven't gone far and I can really feel that stretch down the back of the leg. So we haven't warmed up the backs of the legs, so it will feel stiff, but that's okay. So inhale into lengthen, exhale into hinge forwards, and then slowly bring the chin to the chest. And hold that there, breathe through it. So if you're not using the strap, you're going to inhale the arms up and exhale, hinge forwards, coming down. So if you can reach your foot, that's fine. If not, you can also bring the hands to the outside of the foot if that feels better than for complete forward fold. So you've got a couple of options there. Choose whatever feels right for you. Breathe into that stretch. Keep that foot and that leg engaged, toes pointing towards you. And then slowly release. Keeping the legs out. I'm just going to twist so I'm facing you. We're going to place the right hand behind the right sit bone. Inhale that left arm up and lean over to the right for a side stretch. And then slowly come back to center. And we'll take that to the other side, bringing the left foot in and the right leg out. So again, turn the hips so that you are facing the leg. And again, if you're using your strap, wrap it around the ball of your foot. And we're going to inhale, try to keep that nice straight spine. Inhale to lengthen. And again, you can still be up on your blanket if you're still feeling uncomfortable. So inhale to lengthen, exhale to hinge forwards. Keeping a nice straight spine. Still breathing. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to hinge forwards. Maybe bring the chin to the chest to lengthen through the back of the neck. Whatever feels right for you. Keeping that leg engaged, foot flexed. Slowly come back up to center. And again, keeping the right leg out. Place the left hand behind the left sit bone. Inhale the right arm up. And take a nice stretch over to the left. A nice stretch down the side body. And then come back to center from here. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. So try not to bring them right in. Try to create a diamond shape with your legs. And from here, there's a few options. You can bring your hands to your toes, your feet, your ankles, or your calves, whichever you prefer. And we're just going to inhale again to lengthen. I'll turn sideways, so we're going to keep that nice straight spine. So again, inhale to lengthen, exhale to hinge forward. Elbows are going to go out wide and push into the knees. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to hinge forwards. And then bring the chin to the chest. I'm going to hold that there. This is Lottie, who's come to join in. Maybe. So still breathing through it. And slowly bring the head back up. Slowly come back up. Use the hands to bring the knees up. And from here, we're gonna, oh maybe not, make your way onto all fours. Making sure your hands are underneath the shoulders and your knees are underneath the hips. So making sure your index fingers are pointing towards the top of your mat. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Turning the elbows out so we're getting an external rotation in the shoulders. Now then from here, we're just going to do some spinal flexes. So sometimes when you're feeling a bit down and anxious, it's because the energy is lying stagnant in the spine. So spinal flexes are a really good way to get energy flowing and moving and helping you feel focused. So on an inhale, we're going to drop the belly and scoop the chest forwards and lift the chin. On an exhale, round through the spine, slowly bringing the chin to the chest. Inhale, scoop the chest forwards, lift the chin. So clawing through the fingertips to protect the wrists. Exhale to round. So take this at your own pace. Don't, if I'm going too slow, you can go faster. If I'm going too fast, take it slow it down. So exhaling to round, inhaling to scoop the chest forwards, trying to keep the, pay attention. Notice if you've got the shoulders hunched forwards. If you have, try to roll them back and down. Exhaling to round. Drawing the navel in on those exhales still. Inhale forwards. Exhale round. Keep going. Move with the breath. On your next inhale, come back to a tabletop position, finding some stillness. Now then from here, we're just going to walk the knees back a little. And we're going to push through the hands, keeping the hips up. Maybe taking the hands out a little bit further and bringing the chest down. Coming into a puppy posture. So you should feel this in the shoulders. If you're not, then walk the knees back a little bit further or work towards bringing the elbows and the chest a little bit closer to the mat. So breathe into the shoulders. Take a moment here. Keep up those nice slow deep breaths. Try to control the breath. Few more breaths here. And then claw through the fingertips. Bring yourself back up onto all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And from here, bring the toes together and the knees out as wide as the mat. And we're just going to sit back onto the heels, stretch the arms out, and come down into a extended child's pose. And just take a rest, take a moment, just breathe. Slowly clawing through the fingertips, bring yourselves back up onto all fours. Walk the knees underneath the hips and the hands underneath the shoulders. Making your way into a comfortable seated position. So the next So we're going to do a hip stretch. It's quite a deep hip stretch. It is a tough one, but it's important to remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath and don't hold on to any tension. So what I mean by that is, notice if you're hunching the shoulders up. If you are, just roll them back and down. Are you clenching the jaw? Try to release it. Are you scrunching your toes, scrunching your fingers? All those things. So if I say release the tension, that's what I mean. Pay attention to you and use an exhale to let that go. So what we're going to do is, so grab your blanket and roll it up. So you might not need any modifications or adjustments, but you might. So, no, we don't need that. So bring in the right foot, so you can use the edge of your mat to help. So bring in your right foot, the shin should be parallel with the edge of the mat. You want it in a nice straight line, keeping that foot flexed. Now the left foot, you've got a couple of options here, so finding what feels right for you. So if you're quite tight in the hips, then this is what's going to happen. That leg's going to be, this is what you're going to look like, and that's going to be really uncomfortable. So there's a few things you can do. So number one is bring your rolled up blanket underneath that right knee, and that'll give you a little bit more support and you'll feel a bit better. Number two is bring that just in front of the right knee and place that left foot there. And you might feel like you're like up. If that's the case, then you can also bring a cushion or something into the mix there. But as long as you are trying to keep the shins parallel. So I would recommend having the blanket underneath that right knee. So if you're here, at least you're going to get I think there's more support there, so that should feel better. If you don't need any, what you're looking for is left ankle on top of that right knee, left knee on top of the right ankle. So this is fire log pose or double pigeon pose. So once you're in place, once you've got your modification, your variation, you should feel it in the hips. So we've got the left foot on top, so you should really be feeling it in that left hip crease and around in the glutes. So as I said, it is a very deep hip stretch. So we're going to take it a little bit further. So what I recommend is bringing your textbook out in front, and we're just going to reach forwards. See if you can bring the fingertips to the book, or if you can bring them to the floor of the mat, that's perfect as well. So from there, all I want you to do is inhale, and on an exhale, see if you can come a little bit further forward, lean forwards. Don't round and take a forward fold, we're just leaning forwards, hinging from the hips. And so you should be feeling that in the hips. And it's a tough one, it really is. So breathe through it and try to keep the attention on the breath, maybe by counting the beats of the inhales and the exhales. So if you inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Also maybe taking the tip of the tongue to the roof of your mouth can help with the breath control. You should feel a little slight restriction at the back of the throat, and this is called Ujjayi breath. But it's a really good way to help you, technique to help you control the breath and keep the focus on that rather than the stretch. So hold that there, keep going. Breathing through it, again, keeping maybe hold the breath at the peak of the inhale for 2 counts before you exhale. Using the exhales to let go of that tension. Maybe now you understand why. Always let your shoulders forward. If they are, bring them up to your ears and roll them back and down. Breathe through it. Now then, what I want you to do is walk the hands over to the left, gently twisting. Still breathing, still keeping the attention on that breath. Nice, slow, controlled breath. We're nearly done. It's really uncomfortable, but what this stretch does is, so it's really good. So it's obviously a hip stretch, but we tend to, people don't realize when you are tense and stressed, we hold it all in the hips, and people don't realize, and that's people who tend to be tighter in the hips tend to hold a lot more stress and tension. So this is a really good stretch for releasing all of that stress and tension, and it's also really, really good for sciatica. So walking the hands back through the center, take it all the way over to the right. So there are many benefits to this stretch. As uncomfortable as it feels, it is doing you a world of good. So again, shoulders down away from the ears. Breathe through it. We're nearly done, nearly there. And slowly bring the hands back to center and slowly come all the way back up. Use your hands to unravel the legs. And take a moment just to give your legs a little bit of a shake. And we'll take that over to the other side. So this time, left foot is on the ground, shin, nice straight line. So again, if you need those adjustments, I'll just go through them again. So roll your blanket up underneath the left, bringing that right knee on top. So if you tighten the hips, this is probably what you look like. And then taking that forwards. Or again, you can bring that just in front of the knee. And then you're here. So you've got a couple of adjustments there. Take your pick. If you're not using any, then this is what you should look like. Ankle on top of right ankle on top of the left knee on top of that right ankle. So again, using your textbook. Bring your hands out in front if you're not using it for any adjustments. I mean, it doesn't have to be a textbook if you don't have one. If you have anything that's just a bit thick. So here we go. So this side, I feel a lot more intense because once you stretch out one side, the opposite side is then weaker. So this is going to be a little bit harder than it was to do the other side. So breathing into it, inhale to lengthen, exhale to hinge forwards, even if it's just the fingertips, or even if you're just hovering above. As long as you can feel that down the side and in that hip crease, you are in the right place. So shoulders back and down. Breathe through it, hinge forwards. Again, draw the attention to the breath is the best thing you can do to get through it. So, sorry, I'm distracted by a cat. I can hear a cat outside the room. So on the inhale, maybe count the beats of the inhales and the exhales. Maybe inhale for 4, exhale for 6. Maybe hold the breath at the peak of the inhale. And again, try taking the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. That will help you control the breath. So that will create, as I said before, Ujjayi breath, which is victorious breath or audible breath. And it's a very good breathing technique, very beneficial. So walking the hands over to the right this time. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, see if you can deepen that stretch. Breathe through it. Slowly walking the hands back through center. Take them all the way over to the left. And breathe. We're nearly there. This is the last bit. And slowly come back through to center. Walk the hands up and use the hands to unravel the legs. And take a minute, shake it out. And when you're ready, we're going to bring the feet back on the mat, knees up. We're going to inhale and then exhale. We're just going to forward fold, wrapping the arms around. And bring the chin in, round and through the spine this time. Just as a nice little counter pose to that firelog pose that we've just done. And slowly come back. So, from here we're going to come into a seated wide leg forward fold. So, we're not doing the splits. You know, there's no need to take your legs out really wide, just probably a little bit wider than hip width apart will do. So bring in your textbook, bring it down in front. So again, we're not reaching forwards and rounding through the spine, keeping the legs engaged. This can be quite an uncomfortable position to sit in, so before we get to that, if you feel like you're sitting a bit like that, and you're uncomfortable and you're leaning back, use your blanket, pop your sit bones, and again, that'll just tilt the pelvis to help you keep a straight spine. So, bringing the textbook out in front, all I want you to do is see if you can bring your hands to that textbook, keeping the legs engaged and the feet flexed. So that's all I want you to do. If you're not feeling anything, no stretch, try bringing the hands down to the mat. Again, if you're not feeling anything, from here, what I want you to do, walk the hands out a little bit further and bend the elbows. So if you can bend the elbows but you can't get them on the mat, then bring your textbook back, bring your elbows to that textbook, and that should give you a good stretch. Otherwise, you are here and just leaning forward slightly. We're not forward folding, we're not reaching forwards. We're just hinging from the hips, leaning slightly forward, keeping the legs engaged, knees pointing towards the ceiling, feet flexed. So wherever you're at, so again, if you're working towards bringing the hands to the mat, use the textbook, or if you've got the hands on your mat and that's enough for you, then work there. But use the exhales to see if you can take it that little bit further, bending the elbows, bringing the elbows down to the mat. And if you have got the elbows down and you're not feeling it, then you are working towards bringing the chest towards the mat. So then that's when you might need to take the legs a little bit wider, and then you're focusing on that. So choose your variation. Breathe through it. Keep the feet flexed. Legs engaged. and slowly coming back up. So from here, move your textbook out of the way. We're going to bring the left leg out in front and we're going to cross the right foot over the left knee. Now from here, using the left hand, hug that knee in towards your chest and send the right arm up in the air. And on an exhale, we're going to twist to bring the right hand behind the right sit bone. And we're going to inhale to lengthen and exhale to twist, sending the gaze over that right shoulder. So we're just coming into a nice seated twist. Keeping that left leg engaged, foot flexed. Inhaling to lengthen through the spine, exhaling to twist. Don't force it. Use the breath to gently guide you round. Keeping the shoulders down. So twists are really good for wringing out all the toxins in the body. They give your organs a nice little massage. They're really good for you. So every inhale, sit up a little bit taller. Every exhale, twist a little bit further. Still keeping that nice, slow, deep breath. And slowly come back to center. And we'll take that straight to the other side, stretching the right leg out, cross the left foot over the right knee. And so using the right arm, hug the left knee in. Inhale the left arm up. And on an exhale, send it behind you. Taking a twist, placing that hand behind the left sit bone. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. Keep that right foot flexed. Breathe through it. Keep the shoulders down. Release that tension on an exhale. Every inhale, sit up a little bit taller. Every exhale, twist a little bit further. And slowly come back to center. So bringing both feet out long to the side. Feet flexed, legs engaged. Bring your strap back around the balls of your feet. We're just going to take a forward fold. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhale again, leaning forward. Pull yourself forward. Only go as far forward as you feel is comfortable. So I'm just going to stop there and feel that stretch. Breathe through it. And then release, remove the strap, bend the knees, inhale to lengthen, exhale, take a forward fold all the way around and through the spine this time, bringing the chin to the chest, just so we can realign the spine after those twists. Nice deep breaths. And slowly coming back up. So we've got one more stretch. So we're going to come into a revolved head to knee. So grab your textbook. What we're going to do is coming back into that wide-legged seated position. Bring your textbook in front of the left knee. You might not need this, you might. Keeping the feet engaged, legs engaged, feet flexed. So we're going to bring the left elbow to that textbook. If that's not something you can do, bring the hand. So we're going to try and keep an open chest. We're going to use the right hand, sending it up and over. But you want that arm in line with the ear so that you're not crossing in front of the chest. You're not reaching that way. You're reaching over to the side, keeping that right sit bone down on the mat. So eventually, obviously this is a revolved head to knee pose, so you know you should be able to reach over and twist. But we're not working at that today. So what this stretch does is a hard one to stretch, and it can be a cause of lower back pain if you're prone to that. So this stretch can actually help lower back pain. Breathing through it, keeping that arm in line with the ear, try not to cross, keep a nice open chest. And slowly coming back. We'll take that to the other side, bringing the book to the right knee. If you feel like you don't need that at all, that's fine. Bring the elbow down. Or you can, so here, or here. So again, sending the left arm up and over. Again, in line with the ear, keep the feet flexed, knees pointing towards the ceiling. Keep that left hip down. And breathe through it, keeping a nice open chest. So as well as a side stretch. As I said, you're getting a nice lower back stretch. And slowly come back to center. Use the hands to bring the knees up. And we're going to take another one last forward fold. Inhale into lengthen, exhale, hinge forwards, wrapping the arms around your legs. Shoulders down. Slowly make your way back up into a comfortable seated position. And we'll take a moment just to bring the hands together, Anjali Mudra at the heart. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, bring the chin to the chest. Breathe. Take a moment to be grateful to yourself for giving you this time on the mat. The hardest thing in yoga is stepping on the mat. We'll start to return the breath to normal. Soften through the jaw. Relax the muscles in the face. And allow yourself these few moments of stillness. And we'll bring the thumbs up to the third eye chakra. Namaste. Thank you for joining in with this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.